the counselors, everyone has been amazing, and bringing it to her senior year where we are now, I was bombarded with emails at the beginning of the year from Ms. Gomez, and I didn't know why. I'm like, what is this? Like, why does this person keep on emailing me? Sometimes you just don't think to check in the email, especially if you've been getting them for all 4 years from the school. But to see that she was the graduation specialist, just keeping an eye out for the students, what they have to do, their dues, their class dues, what events that they might have, and other things to be involved in, that helped me out a lot. To know that I can refer to an email or email her to ask questions.
Kept in front of you.
Yes.
Kept engaged with you.
Yep, kept engaged. And with Joanne, if she needed something, she knew that she could go to Ms. Gomez and her team, the counselors too, and her teachers. So that was awesome for me as a parent, knowing that she had support as she's going to school daily. So I needed that. And yeah, it's been awesome.
Where is she going to go to college?
She's going to go to Southern. So, different than what I thought.
Yes.
In my head as a mom, I'm like, yes, you're going to get credits for UConn. This is the college. I'm ready. I'm ready to go out to stores and be this parent for UConn. And her career goals changed within herself. She knew what she wanted to do. She knew she wanted to be a school counselor. She still wants to be a school counselor. Mm-hmm. So, it's a great example for those who for kids who already know, they know within themselves some way, somehow that they want to do some things. We just have to take it out of them, like bring it out of them, pull it out of them. So for Joanne, she stayed on that. She said it to me over the years, and I'm like, oh, great, you could do it at UConn. But for her, after doing her own research, and I think there was like a college fair at one point that she went to. So after doing her own research, she felt as though that Southern University in New Haven is the best fit.
How great for her to find the place that she feels is right for her.
Yeah, and
couldn't ask for more than that.
It's awesome. Yeah, it is.
Thank you for sharing all that. That's great. Laura, do you have a post-secondary success story that you want to share?
I'll share a little bit about a student that I'm working with, a middle school student. So she would be a first-generation college-going student, but she's very excited, thinking about college already, which is fantastic. She knows one person who went to Stonehill College, so that's always been in her mind. Like, that's where I'm going to go to Stonehill. That's all I need to know. And we took a
because she knew a student who went there. Because she knew
someone who went there. And so we took a field trip out to UConn this year, and her mind was just blown. I don't think she had ever been on a college campus. And so she was just so excited. She was talking to all the students, the college students at the campus, going up asking them questions. But just really excited, and got the students around her very excited about college just by being on the campus and learning about it. So when I have done some reflections with her afterwards, she's now thinking about UConn and thinks that's where she wants to go as well, but is really open to, she's learned a lot that there's so many options out there, and being able to access them and see them is giving her a lot of excitement about the future. So my plan for our middle school is that every year the grade level will go to a different college, and try to get so they get to see 3 colleges by the time they're through middle school. So she's already asking about when the central trip's going to be and what we're going to do next year. So she's excited to learn more about the schools. And it's different being at the middle school level, how to get kids really excited, because college seems so far away, but it's cool to see that excitement.
So
that
actual exposure to a campus,
yes,
to a college.
Yep.
Made a huge difference in this
case.
Difference.
Yes.
Opened up all sorts of
like me get ready for high school and college. So when I was there, we used to do a lot of college field trips, especially to out of state, like Washington D.C., New York State. So then I was thinking, I want to be out of state because I fell in love with those colleges. But as I continued my high school career, I was like, maybe I don't want to go that far, because as things change, you get older, you think about what you want. So for me, I chose UConn, Storrs campus. I like it because it's its own little town. Everyone's so friendly there. And I'm going to be studying pre-vet there, and their animal section, animal sciences, I love it. It's about 15% of the campus. So it's just a down the road walk to the farm, which is different from other schools, because other schools you have to travel an hour away to see the actual animals. So I like the closeness of it. Some accomplishments I have, I'm a Private Promise Scholar, which is great.
Yes, you are.
Yes. I'm also on the High Honor Roll. I believe right now I'm the valedictorian of my class too. I'm going to be giving a speech at graduation as well.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, be proud.
I'm the
Yes.
first Hartford Public student to get the Biliteracy Award in sign language, which was interesting because, like, growing up, I spoke sign language with my parents are deaf. You always say that you spoke it, but no one really believed you, or they're like, "Oh, okay." And now to be actually recognized, it felt important. Like, I'm speaking for people like that because I grew up around the deaf community. It's very small, and you get to see how people react. Like, some people are accepting, some people are interested, and some people just look down on you. So it's interesting to see like such positive reactions for something like this. So,
How about that? How about that? Be very proud of yourself. And Ariel, I just wanted to come back to you. You're going to
UConn too. By Hartford campus.
You're going to UConn, the Hartford campus. And did you get any financial aid or scholarships?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Stigma, the Ivan birthday scholarship, and some other sorority and the career beginning to help me out a lot.
Do you have a full ride?
Yes.
Do you have a full coverage of your costs?
Yes.
How about
and
that?
the FAFSA helped me out a lot too. Thanks to Miss Levin and the whole concept, and that got me to do the FAFSA because I was not interested in
The FAFSA.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
That's a stumbling block, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Nicole, how about you? How much financial aid do you have?
I think altogether, almost $60,000 in financial aid because I have about 4 or 5 scholarships, and UConn was very generous with their financial aid option. The FAFSA process really did help with my counselors and Hartford Youth College, so that process was like relatively easy for me. And like during that process, I actually like got a lot of other college acceptances, like Union College, Skidmore, Boston University, and Boston College, and Eastern. But I chose UConn.
They all wanted you, huh?
Yeah.
They all wanted you.
My boyfriend, he even said like, you probably could have gone to Harvard if you wanted to, maybe.
So it's important to have high sights, right? High possibilities and expectations. But it sounds like you both found exactly the right schools, even though they're right here close to home.
Yeah.
Exactly the right schools. Let me just ask a couple of questions. When do you think, and I can ask this, but primarily the counselors, when do you think, and maybe ask the students also to weigh in on it, when do you think students should start their post-secondary planning?
So
First grade, 12th grade? When?
I think this was already mentioned in middle school, but I think way before then. Our college and career specialist at Buckley formerly worked at the Global Communications School, and she said starting in kindergarten, they were exposed to different colleges, whether it was touring, visits, older students coming back and talking about where they were going. And we actually have some of those students now at Buckley, and they said their experience there, learning about college so early, really, really helped.
Just be part of your thinking as soon as you're in school.
Yep, and the more conversations that you can have at home, in the community, with your school counselors, with your teachers, anyone who goes to college, just being able to talk to people about it and understand what it means and the excitement behind it. I think people get really excited to talk about college too, and their experience there and share it with students. So.
For sure.
We were in Times Square and people actually recognized the Weaver logo and talked to us, which I found really cool.
How great is that?
And another thing is, at Weaver, I know we're changing the lighting at Weaver, because sometimes people think Weaver is a bad school, like, oh, you had all this happen. But just this school year, our volleyball team, I was the captain of, we reached states for the first time in 40 years. And we were in the Hartford Current Post.
Wow.
And just this weekend, I think, our track team went to states, and a couple of us won state tournament championships. So a lot of things are happening.
Absolutely. So great. Thank you for that. And that's exactly what Larry's talking about. There's a legacy here, right? You're now part of that legacy. And keep it moving forward and with that pride. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Really good spending time with you. Hope you take away good things from here. Thank you all again.
Thank you.
There's an opportunity for us all in terms of how we help other students and families make it through. And that's to continue to do things like we're doing today and continuing to share the story. Because everything Richard said is me. I would have never thought I'd be a director of college admissions. I was just trying to get to college out of high school. Exposure, early exposure, being willing to adjust, adapt, be flexible, do what you need to do is what gets you where you need to be. As a product of Hartford Public Schools, wear the badge proudly. Southern, UConn, in stores in Hartford, wherever you go, be a proud product of Hartford Public Schools. There's a legacy in Hartford that's not always told. Wear the badge proudly. You can be anything you want to be. Don't let anyone tell you differently, and just continue to dream big. And to the school counselors, you definitely have the ability to impact students, and I'm glad you see that. And I'm glad that young people continue to listen, because that is the story that constantly needs to be told in our urban areas that is often not told. And every year there are students graduating college and becoming lawyers and doctors and everything under the sun that come from Hartford Public Schools. And we have to champion that story. And so give back. So the moral of that story is give back. Next year there will be seniors who are just like you. Next year there'll be a parent who is just like you. School counselors, you know, they rotate every year. Just continue to perpetuate and tell a story that we do it well in Hartford, and we will continue to do it well and graduate and have students be successful.
Give you a